My dear Franciscan sisters of the Presentation of Mary, my dear lay members of Christ Faithful, my dear seminarians, my dear professors of Good Shepherd Seminary. Today we celebrate the feast of a great apostle. As you know, he was one of the privileged three to be with Jesus during important moments. During the raising of Jairus' daughter, at the Mount of Transfiguration, and also in the Garden of Gethsemane. Privileged to see in close quarters the intense suffering of Jesus. We learn quite a lot from this apostle. Think of his own call. He was probably well off, working with his father, with the boat, with so many servants. The Lord called him. The immediacy of his response strikes us. The Lord calls you and me today during this feast. Follow me. Let us not postpone responding to him. Let us not postpone our conversion. Follow me means listen to me. Change your attitude. Think like me. Speak like me. Behave like me. He left everything, the servants, the father, the net, the boat, everything he left. Sometimes we follow him, holding on to our own nets. Nothing should come in the way between us and Jesus. We have to follow him wholeheartedly. We should be yes people, not no people. Many of us are yo people, yes and no at the same time. As Chesterton says, if you say yes, you have to commit yourself. If you say no, you have to offend others. So you say yes and no at the same time. Wholehearted, total surrender to the Lord. James is very passionate for the Lord. We read in chapter 9 of Luke's Gospel, when the Samaritans did not allow Jesus to pass through them, did not allow Jesus to take the shortcut, James with his brother was furious. He thought of Elijah, perhaps. Let fire come down on these people, all because of his zeal. But the Lord corrected him. This is not my way. My way is not presently that of John the Baptist. My way is not that of Elijah presently. Be calm. Whatever it may be, we should also be passionate for the Lord. But then when the Lord corrects us, be open to such correction and mend our ways. That is very important. And then coming to today's Gospel passage, the mother of James and John, the sons of Zebedee, really instigated her, I think. According to Mark, they themselves went and asked Jesus. Matthew dilutes it to save their face. They did not ask, only their mother asked. Whether they asked or whether their mother asked, it is not without the consent of the sons. They wanted to sit at the right and the left. Surely, not only that time, now also so many want to sit at the right and the left. Priests, religious, consider their vocation in terms of power and prestige, in terms of money and influence. The net was left there on the shore of Galilee. The net reappears again. Myself, Rayappan, as Peter, thought these two people wanted to sideline Peter, because out of the three, they too were there already. They thought Peter will get prominence, so they wanted to get rid of Peter, and the right and the left only for them. Leave aside Peter, they thought. And Jesus asked the question, are you ready to drink the cup? Do you know what you are asking? Yes, they are saying. But then it is my Father's will to grant the places of honor. Not only these two, but the others were fighting. The other 10 were fighting, angry with them. Let us not find fault only with James and John. All the 12 were hungry for power, position. Today the Lord asks us, why have you become priests? Why have you become a religious? Why are you going to become a priest? Is it for the sake of power and prestige, money or influence? Enrich yourself or your own family? Or to live the Charvaka philosophy, eat, drink and be merry? Your occasion is to be understood in terms of suffering, service. St. Paul says, I served the Lord in humility and tears. That is our occasion. You see, in today's beautiful first reading, taken from the letter of St. Paul to the Corinthians, we are all earthen vessels. We are not important. The gospel that is contained in us is important. The vessel can be gold, like some of those Corinthians who wanted to make a living out of their preaching the gospel or coming to positions of leadership. Paul says, we are all earthen vessels. Know your identity as earthen vessels. Don't show off. Yesterday I was telling the deacons, some of them dress very, very attractive way to attract the attention of others. Your dress need not attract the attention of others. Your virtues, your quality, your hard work, that should attract the attention of others. What is inside you, your intelligence, above all your values, your virtues must attract the attention of others. Today the Lord is inviting us. And then the beautiful passage says, we are afflicted in every way but not crushed. Persecuted but not forsaken. The Lord will not forsake me. I carry within my body the death of Jesus. I tell people that I am here carrying the death of Jesus. That means there is also life after death. Why do you want to become a priest? Many say, I want to serve. I want to do good to the people. More than all this, you have to say, I want to suffer every day for Jesus. Surely, James also heard what Jesus told Peter towards the end. When you are young, you could go wherever you wanted, but then when you are old, you have to stretch out your hands. You will glorify me by your death. Every day, my dear brothers and sisters, we have to glorify by our hard work, by our suffering, by our sweat, by our tears. That's what the Lord asks us. Surely James was touched by what he learned from the Lord, transformed by the risen Lord, touched by his Spirit. And he was the first of the apostles to shed his blood. He drank the cup. So many people we see go on foot to Velankanni. So many people in Europe go to Compostela to visit the shrine of St. James. Our life is a journey of faith, journey of hard work, journey of suffering, journey of breaking ourselves every day. Every time the bread is broken, we have to remind ourselves, today I'm going to break myself for the cause of the gospel, for the cause of God's people. That should be our resolve.